register a trademark with the Bureau for Intellectual Properties on St. Martin, is that automatic registration throughout the world?
No, because we have a national registration and we have an international registration. For a trademark, if you want protection in different jurisdictions,
Right.
then you also have to register in those jurisdictions. St. Martin, being part of the Madrid Protocol, which is a treaty, and we're part of that protocol by extension through the Netherlands, you can register very easy in all member states of that treaty. So in one application, you would be able to register in close to 200 countries around the world.
Does that apply to the United States in that?
The United
200?
States is also part of that treaty.
Yeah.
But not all Caribbean islands, for example, are part of
okay.
that treaty. So it's not every country in the world, but the majority, and especially the bigger countries, the European Union, some of the other European countries that are not part of the European Union, the UK, the United States, China, and so forth, and also some Caribbean islands as well, like Antigua. They are part of the Madrid Protocol.
So the Bureau for Intellectual Properties on St. Martin, you have copyright, trademarks, patent, and I also saw something called I-envelope. What's that?
Yeah, I-envelope is, you can say, it's a link to copyright. It serves as a means of proof. Since copyright is automatic by law, meaning that once you create something, it's yours. You are the owner of that copyright. You have the right to copy it, the right to license it, the right to sell it. But the burden of proof lies with the creator. So what the I-envelope aims to do is to provide you with a date and time stamp of the official body for intellectual property on St. Martin.
Now, what's the big difference between a copyright and, say, a trademark?
Oh, okay.
I ask you that question for a reason, so the average person can understand the difference.
Yeah, it's a very good question. A lot of people sometimes they come in and they say, I'm coming in to copyright my trademark. Or I need to patent my trademark. So there's a lot of misconceptions about what these three terms mean.
Right.
So it's really good for us to explain it. So a trademark it can be a number, a name, a sign, a logo. So take, for example, Dasani or Coca-Cola or Apple. These things are all trademarks, whether it is the name or the logo.
Right.
A trademark can also be, you also have like trademark design, like a design of a bottle can also be trademark. Copyright is different. Copyright refers more to the artistic works, so literary works and song and dance and videography. All these things fall under copyright.
When it comes to copyright and so forth and registration, you mentioned all of that, a copyright can last for how long? Is it unlimited amount of years, or is it a fixed amount of years?
So copyright is definitely for a fixed amount of years, not unlimited. Unlike, for example, trademarks, which can be unlimited. We'll get back to that. So copyright on St. Martin is for up to 50 years after the death of the author or creator.
And if you have multiple authors or creators, then that will be what, the last remaining person? 50 years after that, basically?
Off the top of my head, yes. Yes.
So, in other words, after 50 years, the copyright no longer applies.
So after 50 years after the death of the creator, author, and why I was stressing on the death is because that's where you have the heirs. I'll give an example. You had this song from Robin Thicke and Pharrell, and that was a few years ago.
And Marvin Gaye.
Exactly,
yeah, right.
that song. And then the heirs of Marvin Gaye started a court case against Robin Thicke and Pharrell for infringement, saying that they took the ideas, they took the song, the beat, and made it their own, and that they should have rights. So the heirs of Marvin Gaye won that particular case. And there are many other similar cases in music where people sample from other people's music.
Right.
And that's not allowed without permission, or you have to give credit where credit is due and pay as well.
Is it expensive to register at the Bureau for Intellectual Properties here in St. Martin?
So what we register at the Bureau, we register trademarks. And I would say that it's quite affordable. For 10 years, you have a trademark for 750 guilders. And that's up to 3 classes. Now, what are classes? Classes are the definitions of the products and services under which you plan to operate your trademark.
All right, so 10 years.
For 10 years.
So after 10 years, you have to
renew.
Right.
If you do not renew, then you will lose the rights. So trademarks is the only right that it can be indefinite. You can renew it every 10 years.
Yeah.
So your heirs and your heirs' heirs, they can continue to renew that particular trademarks. We have brands in the world that exist for over 100 years.